All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the incomparable Toby here, new marketing person that works for Cachet. For those of y'all that know Cachet, you've heard me talk about it before. We've met with Aaron, we've met with Robin. They are one of my preferred lenders. By the way, guys, I don't get any kickbacks. You can't get kickbacks. The reason why I like them is because every single one of their lenders, I have a cell phone number to. And I don't have to call 1-800, then push 6, then push 9, then do this, and then explain my position every single time. They call you. So when it comes to picking an RMLO, I highly recommend somebody that gives you their cell phone number and that has an office close by. And she was just informing me the office is now at 281 and Brook Hollow-ish, right? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And but we'll talk more about Cachet later. What I want to talk about is the free stuff that Cachet gives us. So that's what we're doing here. And it's something that I use quite frequently. And actually, Toby's new to the Cachet team, and I just met her because of one of the features of ListingBooster that we're going to talk about right now. ListingBooster. It's a free marketing software that is given to us by Cachet. They pay for it. The rub on that, the trade-off, guys, just because I know, I don't know if Toby is going to mention it, is that some of the marketing material is co-branded. So you will have your name on it, and you will also have like Robin or somebody along those lines that has their name. So whenever you're handing out marketing material, they have an opportunity to quote the loan. You have an opportunity to sell the house. It's a nice little symbiotic relationship that we like to work to. So ladies and gentlemen, Toby, I'm going to let Toby, tell us about yourself. You were just giving us a little spiel, but now that we're recording for everybody, share.
Hi, yes. So my name's Toby Horkman. I do the business development and marketing for Team Cachet. So, I'm the one out there, on these calls or, dropping off gift baskets, doing our social media, planning events. When the time comes that you have loan questions, I'm happy to, refer you to one of our fabulous, experienced loan officers. Our team has decades of experience. We kind of focus more on new construction. We do a lot of custom home loans, but, we do everything. We work with first-time home buyers and, really love that, those relationship building opportunities. So that's kind of about the team. I've been with them since August. And so, this is great kind of meeting these referral partners that I know have been working with the team for a while. So thanks for you guys being here and listening to me. So Collin mentioned ListingBooster. That's what I'm here to talk about. It is a platform that we pay for and we provide to you guys. So I'll kind of go over some of the features, and then, I'll get with Collin or however to get with whoever's interested that maybe isn't already signed up and wants to, and then we can kind of have a more one-on-one, situation to kind of get you signed up and go over any other questions that you may have about that platform. But so what ListingBooster is, it's a online marketing suite. It pulls data directly from MLS. So it really is more of a listing agent tool. However, there are some buyer agent tools in there as well that we can kind of go over later, but it helps you to market your listings. It's got some really cool features. One of the newest ones is these like listing trailers that it does. They're kind of cheesy, but they, they're like these little 30-second videos that has this, movie guy voice narrating it, and, don't sleep on this listing kind of thing. That's kind of cool. It also does marketing flyers for you. It does infographics, social media posts, and a really cool thing. And I'll log into Collin's here in a second and kind of, show you guys visually what it does, but just kind of giving you a quick overview.
No, by all means, Toby, go for it. I just made you the host.
Go for it. Okay.
So you can share your screen and show everybody the great stuff.
Perfect. Okay, let me do that then. So I'm going to...
And then I'm going to interject with the ways that I use all this different stuff. So the first time I talked to Toby, just so y'all know, is there is an opportunity to use a short code. So when you have a sign in your yard, you have a big sign that has your name, and it's got to be 50% of the number, the contact information. We all know that. But a lot of times we'll add those smaller rectangular signs that are called riders. For those of y'all unfamiliar, they call that a rider. And the rider signs, those are the ones that say just listed, or I'm gorgeous inside, or pool, or whatever. So what you can do is through Listing Booster, you can buy riders that have a short code on it. So if you've ever seen text, happy to 6432, and it's just that short number, it's not a full phone number, that's called a short code. And so I've got a very specific one for each one of my signs. And so that's how I met Tobi, is you send it in to them, or you can do it yourself, but I never figured out how to do it. And so if somebody drives by and texts that short code, it will actually email them or text them back the listing, so they can get all the details from the listing. And the best part about it is it captures their cell phone number and tells you. So I know when they're doing that.
Yeah, it's great. It gives you that opportunity to immediately follow up with that lead, because you do have their cell phone number. On the other end of things, it also, gives that person that info immediately, right? They don't have to, try to find the number of the address and the street that they're on, right? It's like, a lot of people are just driving by, and that's an opportunity to really capture that drive-by traffic immediately. And people like that sort of thing. I mean, text codes are all the rage now. We use it at, curbside and all of that. So it's really great to get that information to people immediately, and for you to be able to follow up with that lead. And so you would get a text message on your phone, like Collin said. Can you all see my screen here?
Yes, we can see.
You can see it?
I can see it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, sorry.
So this is your dashboard. Once you, you've got your Listing Booster account set up. So I'm on Collin's here. You would go to your listings. All of this is going to be imported immediately for you. It gathers that data from MLS. So any new listings that you have, they're gonna go ahead and be here for you. So let's see this new Laredo Highway one. We're gonna go to our listing Launchpad, and then this is where you are going to have all of your data, all of your marketing materials are gonna be on this Launchpad. So if it's a new listing, sometimes or if you haven't gone to the Launchpad for it yet, sometimes it takes a little minute to upload. So let's do that. We'll make sure that it's saved. Sorry about that. But you can see here too, it's going to gather all that data from MLS, but you can also still go in and kind of personalize things. So if you wanted to go in and change the order of photos, because you can create brochures, there's all these materials that are based off of your photos or the description of the home and that sort of thing. So you can go in and update and customize some of that information. Sorry that it's taken a minute here. Let's see. So one of the flyers that it does, I'm just going to talk while it's processing here. One of the flyers that it does is they call it the area data infographics, which now that I can show you, I will show you. They are really cool. Let's just do a little preview here. You may have even seen these on MLS, because you can download them as a JPEG. You can put them on MLS in the additional documents or in your photos. But really cool, like just kind of goes over convenient places, food, let's see, recreation, that sort of thing. So this is all also customizable. Say you have a different taco place that's your favorite, you can go in and change this data in here. But that's one of the really cool features, in my opinion. Let's see, and we'll go back here. So again, go ahead.
That area one, or the standard plus area, that if you want to open that one up for them. Sorry guys, what I do a lot with that one is I'll print it out, I'll put it in a binder with sheet protectors on it, and I'll leave it, especially if it's like a going show. That way people can see it. I might even print out a handful of extra ones and staple it and, say, take one. It's a nice little brochure to have to walk away, especially so this particular property is down on the southwest side. A lot of people think that nothing's down there. It's like, no, there's a Sam's Club less than half a mile away. It's like, so it is important to let people know these things. And Like I said, I use them a lot for open houses. I leave them when I go in shows, or I email them to people whenever they want to see something.
Yeah, that's great too. And you know, and they're also great for your out of town people, right? You know, like you said, being in a part of town that may not be as familiar to people, that's great too. But there's a lot of people moving from out of town, right, that have no idea what, you know, what's around them where they're looking. So that's a really great feature. So back to just kind of this launch pad. So once you go to your, you know, go to your individual listing, whichever one that you're wanting to work on, you go to this launch pad. And then again, this is going to be all of the marketing materials that are available to you. So I'm not going to click on this one right now because it does take a little bit of time. But if you're wanting to do one of those listing trailers, like I mentioned, those little 30-second ones, this is where you would do that. You would go in here, you would pick which trailer you wanted. So there's 3 different ones to choose from. They do have a minimum photo requirement that you'll see here. So there's like 20 photos there, 30, 20. So just make sure that you do have enough photos of the listing before you try to produce one of those. But so you would click there, make sure you choose which one you want, and then you would click produce. And then that's what takes a little bit of time, but then you're able to download the, you know, that listing video, and you can post it on your social media, or, you know, text it to people, however you want to use that video that is created for you. So then below that, we've got all of our listing flyers. So I had opened that area infographic one for you, but all sorts of, you know, your standard flyers here. Let's see, this is just standard. It's going to have some photos here, your description, and then like Collin mentioned, it would be co-branded with your, you know, the Cachet loan officer. You also, so here is the text code that is assigned to this home. So, or I mean, to this property. So that's the code that you would text to. It would actually take you to the website that ListingBooster creates for you as well. So that's another feature that I hadn't talked about yet, but it does create a landing page website for each one of your listings as well. So when someone texts that code, that's where it's taking them, and they're getting all the information that they want from that website. And that website also has a feature that you can opt in for, that is a lead capture. So, you know, I think that they can look at maybe 2 or 3 photos, and then, you know, and then they're prompted to put in their email address to get more information.
And then you get an email about it saying, hey, here's somebody who's looking for it.
Exactly. Yeah, we always recommend to have that feature on. There's just no reason not to, right? So that was your standard flyer that I just showed you. There's also here, you can have that same flyer, but also with the area report, which is those infographics that we saw. And then from there, it's going to be that same flyer, but here's just, oops, sorry. You know, there's ones that'll say just listed or open house. So if you wanted to, you know, print something out that was a little more specific in that regard, you can certainly do that. I'm going to close out of these because I feel like it might be taking a little while. I'll open this property brochure here in just a moment when this is done. Okay, let me show you this one. So standard again, and then we've got the, this is a more condensed version of that area infographic. So the one I showed previously, a little more expanded. Go ahead.
Scroll up for me to the bottom.
Up here?
Or down or up or whatever. I don't know how everybody says it different. Guys, you see the schools down here? Like she was saying earlier, you are able to modify these. Don't, just because it's the closest school does not mean that's the one the kids matriculate at. So what you need to do is like, so what I would notice right here is just seeing this is it's South San High School. So I'd go to South San Antonio ISD School District. I'd type in the address of the school or the house, the property, find the exact schools, and then I'd come in here and change those. I would make those proper, because guys, that is one thing that will get you in trouble if you're listing something you put the wrong school. Parents will get mad at you, so double check that.
Yeah, always good to do that due diligence. So that's kind of, like I said, the a one-page version of that area data report, which is nice too if you just wanted to do like a one page. So we also have this property brochure that's available. I'm going to pull that one up for you. Oops. Trying to while that is loading, I'll just kind of go down through the social media images that are also available. So this listed on TV is going to be referring to another feature of Listing Booster, which is, it's called MoveTube, and it's an app that is available on all the streaming devices that are out there right now. Your Amazon Fire, your Roku, your Google TV, all of that. So, and you would just download that app onto your TV, and then it's a portal for home searching, and Listing Booster listings are imported on there. So just like someone would go and use Zillow or Realtor, they can, sit on the couch with their family and do the same thing, right? But it's just on their TV, and that's a feature that is exclusive to Listing Booster right now. So that's what this listed on TV flyer is going to be referring to. This kind of gives you a little idea of what that screen looks like, right? So you can go in, you can, make any filter, go through any filters that you want to do here. And then if it is your listing that's on there, because obviously you can filter through them, there will be like the agent's information will be there along with the QR code that then again takes them to that website for that listing. Let's see. And again, just social, these are just, they're for social media, and they're sized appropriately. So that's the biggest thing, right? Is just having the right size format for
which means, guys, so what that means is you got to be very careful. We've done a lot of marketing, guys. Whenever something is optimized for online or web-based stuff, it's usually the least amount of pixels as possible. They do that so that way web pages will load quickly, so you don't have a lot of drag time. If you take something like that and try and blow it up or print it, it's going to come out pixelated every single time. So careful with that. So make sure you're not crossing the social media images to that, because it's just not going to look good.
That's a good point. Thank you. Yeah, but I won't go through them all, but just know that they've got, because they do kind of all look the same as far as format, but you'll just have like, you're just listed, right? And again, your open house, you're pending, that sort of thing. So you do have, if you want to market in a neighborhood that, you just sold a house in, there you go. So here are your property websites. So we'll go ahead and check that out and see what that looks like here for this listing. You've got your description. Again, we've got our, your agent info. There's a, chat box there. That's great if people have any questions. And then again, here's the lender information if they're ready to, get pre-approved on and move forward. So just, that's always nice. Every listing should have their own website, right? And it shouldn't be something that you have to go in and build for it. And that's,
and guys, if you're not utilizing an IDX website that we talked about last week, this is a great way for you to have your website prominently on a website that you can send somebody just the link to this. And the best thing is it does information capture. So once they get to poking around, you're going to get their information. So this is free. An IDX website you're going to have to pay for. If you want to do this in the interim, then you can do that. And then also, if you right below that, guys, you see that website, there's a branded virtual tour and a non-branded virtual tour. Ladies and gentlemen, especially if you have Central Texas MLS, having both of those are great. And you can show them to them, Toby. It's kind of old school. It's that like, I think they call it a Ken's Burn effect. Yeah, Ken Burns effect over and over again with all the photos that you listed. So I don't think my photos are that grainy, but maybe.
Right. So it is.
So that didn't come out very good, but it's okay. It is a little generic, guys, but you now have a free virtual tour, which this used to be all the rage. Nowadays, you got to bring in a videographer with a drone and 10 other people. But yeah, Matterport. I love Matterports. Those are cool.
They are pretty great, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's there for you. Like Colin said, it's already done. It is going to be these still photos, but it is it is a video link. So you're able to put that in with your MLS. Maybe Colin, you might be able to speak a little bit more on the branded versus non-branded. I think has to do with MLS.
Yeah, no, just click on the non-branded. It just pulls your logos off of it. So the other one, if you notice in the top left-hand corner, it said White Line Realty and all this. There's something to do. Somebody explained it to me one time, but when they push this stuff out to IDX websites, like Zillow doesn't want your realtor logo on there because they want to try and feed the leads through their system. So like, it's just crap like that. But what's nice, I know Central Texas asked for both. I can't remember if Sabor asked for both or if they just asked that you do non-branded. I can't remember. There's some rule to them as well, but
I think they
just pay it. The lesson, guys, is pay attention. Like, pay attention when you choose the link, because it says it in there. It says it in the listing stuff. So you'll see. Just choose the right one so you don't get a fine.
There you go. So that is available to you. They are these here. So if I were to click download here, what it's going to do, it's just going to download the photos. So it's not necessarily a post that's created for you. It's just going to have those photos ready for you to go ahead and post on Facebook Marketplace if that's something that you chose to do, as well as Craigslist here. Part of getting you set up on there is to go ahead and put in links to all of your social media. So once that is done, you can easily just post right onto Facebook. This is probably not going to work because I'm not logged into your Facebook, Colin. Yeah, it's going to try to post it to Team Cachets. But if you were logged into yours, it would post it there. Type your little whatever you want to say, just listed, and then there you go. You're good. But kind of back to that virtual tour that, again, the branded virtual tour, non-branded virtual tour, those are going to be the ones that are the still images. However, there is a new tool here that is available. It is still kind of in the works. I've dabbled with it, but I think they're still trying to, figure out some bugs and fix that. But it's this video walkthrough, and it's an app that is, it's a ListingBooster app that you have to download onto your phone. But you are able to do actual walkthrough videos, right? So when you go out to, for your listing appointment or to sign your docs or whatever, your listing agreement, whenever you're at that property and you have the time to just walk through, just like you would do on your phone anyways, you can do it with this app, and then it's going to automatically upload onto here. And then you have that as a link as well. So that's a pretty cool feature too. And so that's the launch pad. That's going to be most of your print material, your social media materials, and that sort of thing. We'll go back to the dashboard here to kind of go over those text codes that Colin mentioned, because those are really a great, those are just really a great tool. So we would go to manage agent text codes here, and then you can kind of see all of the listings that have those, that have codes assigned to them, and you can see which one it is. You would have to go to that listing specifically to assign or unassign it, but this is just giving you kind of like the overview of what's assigned to what, and then you can, like I said, go to the individual listing to update that. And like Colin,
when you buy those rider signs, like that first one says LBR 6772. I probably have a rider sign that says text LBR 6772. Guys, those are transferable. So like, once I've sold the house, I pull that rider off, I go put it on the next one. And that's how I know Toby, because I was like, hey, change this. Because she'll tell you how to change it, I'm sure, but I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, but I don't mind being that person. So please text me. That's part of just us keeping that relationship too. So yeah, so let's see. Okay, here's your leads too. So you will get a lead to your, a text message to your phone when someone texts that code, but you also can come here and you can see what text leads you've gotten. So a great way to kind of get back with your sellers and give them updates. Oh, these are, these are the leads that I've gotten. So you can kind of see here the date and the property, which is great. And the same thing for these web leads, right? So you can, you've got all your data there. We love some analytics. And obviously, those of you who are interested, we'll sit down, we'll go through this, in more depth. Always happy to be a resource for you if you have questions, but I do recommend once you get signed up to just kind of poke around, right? And click on everything and see what it does. But Collin had mentioned to me earlier too, I don't know who may or may not use this CRM, but there's also the capability to connect it to this LionDesk CRM, so you would get those leads filtered into your CRM as well. Let's see. Yeah, I think
that's where you order the writer signs there on the bottom left, guys.
Oh yeah.
Social media settings. If you've got somebody who wants to sell one for sale by owner, yeah. So I got the ones on the top left. What do they cost? Like $30 a piece? They're not bad. Yeah. And then if you want to jump back real quick, what else was I looking at? So your social media settings, FSBO. You can send the FSBO. Guys, if you pick up a FSBO lead, which this is a little bit advanced, normally what we do is we do what's called an exclusive right to sell whenever we're listing a property. If you've got some FSBO lead that you're hunting down, sometimes we'll do something called exclusive agency, whereas if you bring the buyer to that guy specifically, then you get the commission. That's what's really good for those. So if you end up in a situation where you can't really put it on the market or anything like that, but you still want to make some marketing materials, that's what that's for. Oh, do the buyer presentation. That's my favorite part of this whole thing. Yeah. Because a lot of people say, whenever I'm going to sit down and talk with a buyer, like, what does Whiteline have to offer? Because sometimes you get interviewed, guys. Like, believe it or not, sometimes your best friend calls you, hey, will you list my house? Sure, no question whatsoever. Sometimes I call it a cattle call. You're part of a cattle call. They're going to call in 15 different realtors, and they're going to find out which one they like the best. Okay? If that happens to you, you need to have this. So click. I don't have access to it because that thing's cool.
Yeah. So this was what I had kind of mentioned in the very beginning. So I don't know how you use it necessarily, Collin, but how I would envision it being used is, you're doing your searches on MLS for your buyer, and you come across a property that you think they would be interested in, right? So you can go in here and you put that MLS number in. We're going to use, oopsies. I'm just going to try to use the MLS from that one that we were doing here.
I'll get it for you.
Sorry, I don't know where the MLS number is on here, but I'm sure.
I got you. 1 sec.
You got me one. Sorry.
I think it was up on top, wasn't it?
Did you see it up there?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. MLS number.
There you go.
Oh. Okay, so, and then you would just click import. Yes. Okay.
Does anybody want to buy that sixplex, please?
It's commercial, or is it like
it's zone C3? I've got two. That's a story for another day. Things I learned when dealing with mixed use commercial.
Okay, let's see. Let's go under our buyer. So then we're going to go under our buyer presentations here. And now we have this one set up. So we can go to our launch pad here. Oh, okay. So this is just something to note. Anytime, even a listing that is imported directly from MLS, you still have to go and you have to click the save to launch pad the very first time you either manually import, or when it first gets listed on MLS, you always have to do that, but it's only just a one-time thing. And then that's where it is gathering all that data and creating all of those materials. But so over here on the side, the nearby schools, places, restaurants, that recreation, that's where you can go in to those infographics that we've been looking at and make those changes. So this is just going to be your listing settings. It looks very similar, you know, whether it's your listing or it's this buyer presentation.
And then I also want you to show the selling
The
presentation.
listing
Sorry, this is
presentation.
Yeah, the listing presentation. So this is
Yes.
a buyer's presentation. Sorry, guys. That's why it's asking for that number so it can get all that data. It's asking
Right.
for the MLS number because the house is already on the market. We're marketing to buyers, right?
Right. Okay, so here's your buyer presentations. We didn't look at the property.
So
Sure. Okay.
the purpose, guys, sorry, this is basically the exact same stuff from the listing side, but we're just doing it on properties we don't own or we're not listing. So if you go in there and punch in the MLS number and you're going to go show your client a house, you can go do this to print all this stuff out because they probably won't have it because they're not as cool as White Line is. So you're going to walk into that house. It's going to be all lonely. There's no paper. And now you've got these beautiful flyers to hand to your people.
There you go. Sorry, the property brochure is a little, it's a little larger of a file. So, but I'd like to show it to you guys if it will load here for me. What else, Colin? Is there something I haven't covered?
No, yeah,
that
the
you,
listing.
that you like to
I
use?
do the listing presentation. Sorry,
Oh,
that's
the
what I
listing
was thinking
presentation.
earlier.
That's right.
Yeah. Just back out to this. This one's good
Okay.
because we're running short on time, and I want everybody to ask you all their questions.
I know. Okay. Well, here, I just want to show you this real quick. So property brochure for, this again is a buyer presentation. So it would be whatever, you know, property that you found for that buyer. I'm not sure. I'm assuming this would still be your information here and not, obviously not whoever the listing agent
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, you know, nice photos and got the area data again there. So that is, like you said, another neat tool. So to get to the listing presentation, we just go back to the dashboard here, and it's going to be this link right here. There's also this orientation video. So once you get signed up, if you know you want to watch that, it's going to kind of go over most of the stuff that we've already gone through. So we'll pull up this listing presentation. It's going to download it for you. It is a PowerPoint.
By the way, download PowerPoint for your iPad, or if you've got a Windows one, whatever it is, pull this up full screen mode, kick it up on a stand. It's exactly how I do it. Sorry, go ahead and open it. Show everybody that.
There you
the
go.
Magic. Well, no, will you open the PowerPoint?
For me?
Yes, please.
Can you see? You can't see it? Oh. You're telling me you can't see my PowerPoint right now. Okay, it's because I have.
No, well, you haven't. Did you open it?
I did, but I think I have to change whatever screen that I'm sharing, maybe. How do I share? Okay. Yeah, I found it. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, so this is the PowerPoint.
Guys, do you know how much time this saves you of having to put one of these together? This is literally saved on my desktop. Yeah. Like I use this thing. If anybody has any questions, what makes you different? Especially if I'm on the phone, I pull this up because I don't remember it. And I literally just kind of read this to them. Not all that. Keep going down for me.
Yeah. Talks about
I was like, hey, do any of your other realtors put you on TV? Like I will have your listing. We've all been there on, Sunday mornings. We're a little hungover. We miss church and we turn on the TV and it's still on channel 2 for whatever reason. And then there's that weird show where they just show all the listings over and over again. Yeah, I can do that. I can make that happen for you. I can get you on Roku, Fire, Android. Sounds pretty good. Go to the next slide for me. Guys, it's 100% accessible. They're all going to get it. Cool. And at the end of it, they've got the QR code, gets them straight to it. I make some cool trailers. Keep rolling. Sorry, because we're just running out of time.
Yeah, no, we're good.
All of the flyers are going to be customized. As you can see, I'm putting in restaurants that are nearby. I'm going to make this thing extremely well suited for whatever's going on in your area. I've got tons of marketing materials that I use for social media that we put online. It all looks good. This is when I get my old man hat on. I'm like, hey, yeah, how millennials just love to text message all the time. And I was like, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to look anything up. That's fine. Now you can text me about your house. And as soon as you text me, we got that. You get the website. You know, I'm going to create you a unique website. It's not just the MLS. It's not Zillow. It is for Gulf Boulevard. Sorry, keep going. And then when the millennials text me, that's what they get.
This kind of talks
We
about
do,
that video
yeah,
walkthrough app.
Yeah, we do video walkthroughs. We do virtual what was the word?
Virtual tours.
Thank you, tour. We do virtual tour. So guys, it sounds like I'm saying a whole lot, and yes, I am. That's what people want to hear. If they're selling your house, are you just throwing it in the MLS and walking away? No. Like, yes, you will get on Zillow Realtor, you'll do all that stuff with us, but we get you with the and one. We're going to get you on TV. We're going to have social media platforms going through it. We're going to get texting going through it. That's what I love about this, is it makes us seem way more hip it makes me seem way more hip than I am. So that's the nice thing.
Yeah, it's super user friendly. You know, you just got to know where to click. That's what I like to tell people. So, you know, most of the hard work is already done for you. You know, unless like Collin was mentioning, you know, a FSBO or something like that, of course, you're going to have to, you know, import that data on your own. But otherwise, you know, it's already there. You just got to do that save to launch pad the first time. And then, you know, all of that is available to you. So it's a pretty cool feature. And you don't have to know how to use technology and all of that to figure it out either. So.
Yeah, the only thing I really ever screw with is making sure I have the restaurants and the schools right, and, you know, whatever it might be. Because sometimes when you pull that thing up, it's like, it just pulls up some random nonsense, or like restaurants that have closed down since then or whatever.
Sure. Or it'll have like your closest coffee shop as the 7-Eleven. And it's like, okay, there's got to be something, you know, better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't knock that 7-Eleven coffee hot and ready 24 hours a day.
For sure. But
all right. Anybody got any questions for Toby while we're here? Does anybody else want to just ask Toby what her daughter's name is?
Actually, I do have a question, Toby.
Yeah.
So I do have some properties that I'm selling, but they're only going to be cash deals. Okay. Now, if I do a listing, I mean, is it still going to have like Robin's information on the bottom? Because I mean, it's just a cash deal. It's not going to be a finance.
Yes, I think the answer is yes. I don't know that there is a way to take off that co-branding. So, but
I don't think there is either.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, there's those social media. The social media posts aren't I don't believe that those are co-branded. I think that those are just for you. So, you know, that might be an option for you. But Collin, you mentioned that they're not high quality when you try to print them out. I've never tried to print those specific ones. So,
I personally, I wouldn't let that slow me down. Like, I would just, here you go, but sorry, it's cash only. And I mean, kind of bad for Robin.
I guess it really wouldn't, I mean, like you said, it wouldn't matter, right? I mean, it's just.
It wouldn't. I mean, call her if you want to, but we're only taking cash, so.
Okay.
Sure. That's a good question, though. Thank you. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Nope. Just
Guys,
how do you sign up?
What I'm going to do is, Toby, how do you want them to email you?
Sure. Yeah, I was going to say whatever, however you want to handle that on your end. If you want to send out another email to your people and just say, hey, look, this is what we went over, reach out to me, or, you know, send me a list of who's interested. I'll reach out to them. However, I'm here. So here and
yeah, I'll send an email out, because what I do is I'll take this video and I'll send it out to everybody so they can watch it, and yeah, go from there.
Okay. Yeah,
awesome.
That sounds great. Send your video out and say who's interested, and
like
I'll get
I gotta plug it one more time, guys. First and foremost, you do not get to make the decision of which RMLO people use. You can make recommendations. Always recommend at least 3. That's the general rule of thumb, right? However, like, I do recommend Cachet a lot. They are very good. They're very compliant. I've never missed a closing date with them ever, which is really nice. I mean, they are definitely some good people. You can't use them exclusively. There are no kickbacks, but I will tell you, this is some great help marketing. And I'm telling you, if you use Cachet at least one time, you'll see what I'm talking about. So make sure to at least put them in the recommendation list. Let them wow your clients over. And in the meantime, let's use the free stuff that they're paying for.
Yeah.
That's my rule. That's
Might
what
as
I like.
well. Awesome.
Well, awesome. If nobody else has got any questions, Toby, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I will
you.
let you get. I've got to grab a bite to eat and run to Bernie. So y'all have a wonderful Wednesday.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.